What's up guys, Gibby here, and I'm going to do something a little bit different in this video, and I'm actually going to break down some of my gameplay. And the only reason I'm doing this is because I'm really proud of this gameplay. First of all, I feel like I was just in the fucking mode. Like, I was just zoned in, no one could stop me, and yeah, so that's how I felt about this game. I think I ended up going 63-19, but I kind of wanted to tell you guys, coming from, I consider myself a pretty average gamer. Some games I'm better at than others, like Battlefield. I consider myself an above average player. So there we go. Call of Duty, I'm pretty average. Nothing spectacular about me. I do die a lot, which, hey, that's just the way I play. I rush around, do stupid shit. And this one, I just happen to be on fire. And so basically what I do with this, as I get stuck right there, son of a bitch. But basically what I do on this map, I run around like a crazed monkey, just trying to get kills. And as you can see, I'm struggling here. I'm on a death streak. But what you have to do is know where the enemy is at all times. And luckily, I was playing with some people that I do know in a party. So that really does help out all that aspect. I had to go back and record this in theater mode, which is unfortunate. So that's why you see a little glitch every few seconds. Like it stutters for a second. But anyways, when you play with people that you know, for a perfect example, this game, you pretty much always know where the enemy is. And that's one of the most important things about playing on Dome, is knowing how the spawns work. So for example, when we hold B and A, they almost always spawn down by C or just on the other side of A outside of the dome. So that's step one. But as soon as one of your teammates gets there, it actually changes the spawn, and then it can make them spawn A, or it can make them spawn in backside of B, which is a pain in the ass and definitely something that you don't want. So that's why if you do play with me, you'll actually hear me say, get the fuck out of their spawn, because it'll actually swap spawns and push them back behind us, which will pretty much guarantee a death. So keep that in mind when you do play. Don't overextend into their spawn. And that's exactly why the good players, they can still hold spawn traps in Modern Warfare 3, especially on Terminal. Terminal is a great map to spawn trap. If you hold that outside B point along with C, they always spawn inside over by A. Which is like the sunglass hut area. I'm not sure what it is. It's like by the terminal entrance. And it's extremely easy. Like, you'll see people just spraying through the walls and getting Moabs. And that's exactly what the spawn trap does. When you get everyone pinned back there, they always spawn back there. So as you can see here, we're 3-capped, not good. And they're taking A along with C, because that's why the spawns, they just get really erratic. So now that they have A under locks, we know that they're going to be spawning back in this area, and I just got butt fucked right there. But as you can see here, I throw a ton of flashes, or actually stuns. I use stun grenades because for me, I feel like when someone stuns me, that's more effective than being flashed. When you're flashed, you're still fully able to move around at full speed, or pretty damn close to full speed. So I use stuns, and you'll see a lot of the pros using stuns, like on Capture the Flag, maps like that. They actually use stuns because it completely, basically stops the flag runner. And they always spam their flashes. They always get rid of them. Just about at every time they spawn, they get rid of them. Because if anything, on Capture the Flag, it makes the opponents slow down, which is pretty key to the success on like a lot of those professional gamers. Like if you watch Optic play, they always use stuns and they just destroy people. But as you can see here, I saw 2 enemies coming. I was low on health, and I knew I would have been in deep shit if I faced them in a gunfight. So what did I do? I ran around the other side, kind of let my health recover a little bit, and then flanked back around and came and got at least 1 kill, and then got promptly wiped out. But now that they have A again, we know that they're going to be spawning back there. So my focus right now is getting flashes back down by A to slow them down, and then get a nade, bounce it off that little crate, and pick up another grenade kill. That's another thing with this game, is grenades will bounce, and that's why I always use frags, because you can throw them farther. Or at least that's how it was in the previous games, and I'm still using that same philosophy. But I always use frags because I like to cook them, and I like to bank them off walls. Exactly like you'll see me do a lot in this video. If you haven't seen it, I think twice already. I got a triple kill earlier with one by wall banging. And that's one important thing to do, is spam grenade, spam stuns. Or at least test the waters with a stun. Throw a stun. If you get a hit marker, you know there's a guy over there. And if you get like a pretty heavy hit marker, you know that you either hit them directly or there's multiple guys there. And at that point, then I usually know that I should throw my next grenade, get that over there, and then follow it up with another stun. which usually slows them down and then keeps them in my grenade radius. So, you know, it has multiple purposes. Slow them down and also let me know where I am. And I also use recon a lot for that same purpose. I like to know where the enemy is. In this gameplay, I'm not, because when I use my SMG class, I'm typically running around and I either use scavenger, or in this one, I think I'm using sleight of hand. I must be, because I think I'm reloading pretty damn quick. But that's some of the main points that I try to follow. But another one is flanking enemies. I learned this a lot from Battlefield. Don't take the routes most traveled. And if you see somebody, so for example, you come around a corner, you see somebody, they hit you, pull back. There's no need to rush out there and try to go one-on-one with the guy when you have like no health and they have full health. So just pull back, recover, and try to flank around. And if you have teammates like watching that area where you just got shot from, then you know that they're not going to come up behind you. So always use the mini-map is basically the next point. Always take a look at that. Like as you can see right now, we got a UAV up. We know that they're spawning Dome and also on the other side of Dome. So as you can see, I'm just spraying like shit through the walls. Pretty usual. I'm pushed pretty far in their spawn and causing them to spawn inside still. So as I fail with that grenade through the window. But I know that they're still in there. I'm being cautious right now. I'm not really 100% sure why. But my general thought process is play it smart. I'm at 4 kills now. I want to get my 5th one. And then we just 3-capped them again. And look, they all spawned right there. Which is typically, they try to spawn them in the spot of least resistance. So for then, it was just me over by A. So the game chose to spawn them by me, which just by luck, I guess. But now you see they're all spawning in C again. And we basically wipe them out. We had a good team, and we pretty much destroyed these guys. And I went off. This is probably one of my better games on Modern Warfare 3 because I really get pissed in this game. Like, I freak out so often. Like, right here, I'm like, son of a bitch! And I'm dead. But, you know, whatever. But don't use FMG9s anymore. That shit's weak. I don't use Akimbos. I don't know why I even had that class set up. I'm usually just too lazy, or I forget to change my classes. I use the MP9, I believe it is. It's silenced. That's my main weapon of choice for my secondary. But I always run with a couple buddies who always carry stingers on them because we always take out air support. And the nice thing with that, if you're not an extremely good player, there's nothing wrong with shooting down enemy air support. If anything, use the support package, and that increases your chances even more of getting kill streaks. Or, like, for the support package, you can at least get stealth bombers, and once a game, take out like 3-4 guys. So that's just a few points that I do have on the gameplay. I'm extremely proud of this one. I don't know why. It's not like I'm extraordinarily good or anything. But it was one of my better games. And unfortunately, there is that stutter, and that pisses me off. And because I was live streaming at this moment, I couldn't record at the same time, because then it just causes me to lag really, really, really bad. So I tried to not record, and I don't know. It's only in Modern Warfare 3 where I get this little stutter. But anyways, guys, those are just some tips that I have for you. Hopefully it helps in some way. And keep that in mind. I'm not like the best gamer in the world. I consider myself pretty damn average. But I try to be as smart as possible. I mean, that's basically what most video games is whether you're playing Mario. All right, how do I get across this lava pit? It's just using common sense and, you know, just brain power. What is the best way to do this without dying? And that's everything about video games. I mean, whether you're a professional video game player or you're just an average Joe, it doesn't matter. But anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed it. I don't usually do too many of these breakdown type gameplays, but hopefully it helped in some way. I went pretty beast mode and I'm proud of it, so give me some love. I'm just kidding. But anyways, guys, I appreciate it as usual, and have a great rest of the day.